Hi, welcome to this demo on the automated feedback on programming assignments project. You'll be receiving a GitHub Classroom link that looks like this down here. And if you click that, you'll be brought to a web page that looks like this. If you don't already have a GitHub account, you'll probably be prompted to make one. And once you do have your account ready, since you will need it, you can go ahead and accept this assignment. And what that does is it creates a private repository just for you based on sample code that was given for your assignment. So it usually takes just a couple seconds for this to complete. So you can go ahead and refresh, and this new repository has already been created. So if you click that link, you're taken to your private repository. For everybody who clicks that link will create a brand new one that is private and separate from all the other students, where you can't view theirs and they can't view yours. And in this repository, you're given 3 Java files: the date.java file, weight.java file, and younghuman.java file. These are pretty bare bones. So if you've already started your assignment, you probably have more code than that in there. So later, when you're ready, you don't need to download those, but can just upload your updated ones. So if you go scroll down here, in this README, we provided you some instructions on how the system works. All of this automated feedback is controlled through the GitHub Actions. So you'll be wanting to look at the GitHub Actions tab at the top. You'll be getting 3 kinds of feedback: a check style, which checks on your code style, matching the Google Java style of code; a misspell report, detecting some misspellings that you might have in your code and comments; and unit test performed by JUnit to see if your functions are performing as expected. So we give you a little more information about what the workflow status symbols mean. Yellow circles mean that it's in progress. A red circle means that the workflow has failed. Sometimes that'll happen for check style if your code does not compile. But if you see that for a build step or other methods, please let us know, because that might indicate some sort of issue. But usually you'll be seeing these green check marks, meaning that the workflow has passed, which doesn't necessarily mean that your code has passed all the tests. So if we go back up to the top, and you'll want to take a look at this Actions tab. So if you click that, you'll see the workflows that have been run. Currently, we only have the initial commit that was triggered by the creation of this private repository. So you can go ahead and click on that, and we'll see what the initial results are. So if you look on the left side, you see jobs. So the top 3 jobs here are the automated tests that have been run. So you don't really need to take a look at those. Like the build step will look like this, which is all the different steps that it took to run the code. You actually want to focus on these bottom 2 for check style. Currently, there aren't any check style errors, but if there are, you'll see them here. And same with misspell. So if you go back to the summary tab and scroll to the bottom here, there's an artifact, and this is where you'll get your JUnit test report. So if you click on that, it'll download onto your computer, and you can view it in a text editor. So currently, the given code passes some of the tests, 16 out of the available 45 tests. So you'll want to work on your code until it's able to pass all of the tests. So we do provide you a current score. This is not related to your grade on the assignment, but obviously a higher score on this is better than a lower score. And we already give you 80 of the available 225 test points. And if you look through the test report, you get test report details, which will give you a message if you've passed or failed a test case. So in this case, the get weight test has failed. And this is a JUnit error message that you'll get. So in this case, get weight should return 12.5, but yours returns 0. So that means there's some sort of error that's causing the wrong weight to be returned. And if you pass the test, you get a nice little message and full points. So if you go back to the GitHub repository, I'll show you how to download and upload files. So if you go to the code tab here, you can download the existing files within this repository into a zip file. Since we've already done some work on them, I am going to show you how to upload a file. So let's say I've updated the younghuman.java file. So I can just drag that in there. And I want to write a commit message that briefly explains what you've changed in your code. And since this is just a demonstration, it's actually going to fail the check style test. So if I go back to the Actions tab, it's yellow, meaning that it's in process. So currently it's queued and it isn't running on a virtual machine yet, but it will in a few seconds. So if we just wait for those to finish. So misspell has completed and there aren't any detected misspellings. And now a check style, instead of having a green check mark, it just has a square. And there's one check style finding. So in this case, there is a bracket that doesn't match the Google Java style bracket requirements. So if you see here, there's L16, that means that the issue is on line 16, and it also says that up here. Clicking on these links won't take you to the code in question, but if you look in your editor, you'll see that on line 16, this bracket is not on the previous line. So if I uploaded this file again, it should clear this check style issue and have 0 findings again. So since I didn't change the logic of the code, it's not going to pass or fail any more tests than it did before. But if you want to know more about these check style findings, you want to scroll down here in the README. So we provided you a link to a check style webpage, which you can get to from here. And this gives you a more detailed explanation of the different ways that your Java code might be violating the Google Java style. And there's a lot of different warnings that could appear, but it's possible that there are some that you might encounter that aren't on this page yet. So if that's the case, sorry, to go back, and you'll want to go to this this Google Forms and send us what check style warning that you got that we didn't have on our website. Yeah, so you'll want to keep uploading your code and looking at the different different tests that you pass and fail, and just try and continuously improve your code until it passes all available tests. And once it does that, then it's very likely that you'll do well on your assignment, since the same sort of process will be done as it's being graded. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me, your TA, Anne, or Jeremy, who's also working on the project.